Hey guys, Colin here. I wanted to do a quick video on getting started with AI Builder. I find that sometimes people can be a little bit intimidated by AI, in particular AI Builder, and I wanted to show in a really simple example just how easy it is to get started. So what I have on the screen here is the AI Builder kind of landing page within Power Automate. And I wanted to talk briefly about the different ways you can get started with AI Builder. And we're going to do one of the easiest ways today, just, for brevity, but it is a pretty powerful tool and you can do a lot with it. A lot more than what I'm going to show you in this video. So again, just to get into it, we're going to take a look at the various types of models you can build. And now there's two main types. Basically, there's those prefabricated ones or ones that are built for you, and then custom models that you can build on your own. So down below here where it says get straight to productivity, these are going to be the pre-made ones, right? So basically you just slot these into almost any Cloudflow, make sure that you're inputting the values that they're expecting, and then it will output something that, is a prediction from artificial intelligence. So there's some really cool ones in here. Like you can do receipt processing. First thing that comes to mind for that is like taking pictures of your receipts for business expenses. You don't have to enter the data. That's kind of cool. Invoice processing, that's obviously a pretty advanced one, and there's a whole new feature of Power Automate, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but document automation that relies on invoice processing and similar types of models. Key phrase extraction, identity document reader, and so on. So again, these are all the pre-made ones. Up above, we can see refine a model for your business needs. And there's 4 options to pick from: category, classification, and the extraction, form processing, and prediction. So these are ones where you're going to have to basically feed it data in the typical AI fashion or machine learning fashion, feed in some data, train your model, and then it will make predictions after that. This is going to require using the Dataverse or Common Data Service. You have to build out a table of data in there in order to make your predictions on. The only exception to that is the form processing, which relies on PDFs. So again, you can get pretty in-depth predictions here. The more information you feed the custom models, typically the better they perform. But again, we're not going to get into that too much right now. So if you wanted to go about using one of these, let's say the sentiment analysis. So this one down here is going to analyze text and tell you if it's positive or negative, which could have a lot of uses, right? Like maybe you're an Airbnb host and you want to automatically analyze every review and look to see if there's negative ones so that you can respond to them appropriately. How would you go about doing that? Well, I've already set up a flow. I'm going to show you how to do it. So if we hop over to My Flows, we're going to see we have this one here. We'll click on Edit. And this one, what it does, manual trigger. It uses an RSS feed to get data from, I believe it's the New York Times. Yep, New York Times homepage. And it just grabs the first headline and then it analyzes the text. So it really is as simple as, getting the data that you want from wherever that source is, and that would be a whole other problem if we were talking about Airbnb, for example. But getting your data and then passing it in. So you can see my language is English, and the text that I'm passing in is the body of RSS at 0, and then the title of that, which is basically just the title of the first article. Once you have that information, obviously, you'd have to figure out what you want to do with it. Maybe it automatically sends you an email if it's negative or something like that. But why don't we give this a run and see how it works? So we'll hit test here. We're going to do a manual test. And we'll just take a moment here and we'll run that flow. And look at our flow runs page. We'll open this up and we'll see what we got. So first things first, here's the output of the body from New York Times. So you can see our title here is Airstrike Kills Dozen in Gaza as UN Security Council Meets. Doesn't sound particularly good to me. And probability overall text is negative 9.1, neutral 0.02, and positive 0.07. So text sentiment is negative. I would agree with that. So you can see it did a pretty good job here of predicting the sentiment of the text there, right? Like that, obviously that's negative text. And so, you could use this again in a variety of ways. Maybe on social media, you want to see, if you have a brand, for example, you want to see all of the comments that are about your brand and what the overall sentiment is around your brand, right? So you can have more awareness of what consumers think of your product or your brand as a whole. That's one really cool application. Again, you could use it for maybe analyzing tickets so IT support tickets, to kind of see, what is the sentiment of the tickets. I don't know how useful that would be because I guarantee you they're mostly negative, but that sort of thing where, maybe understanding what the sentiment is around the text or the meaning around the text is useful to you in some business capacity. That is all for our quick demo here. Again, I just wanted to show you, AI Builder is not as intimidating as it seems, especially getting started with the pre-made ones. The hardest part is just feeding in the information that you want, right? So if you're not used to kind of playing with data or manipulating data, it can be a little bit tricky. For example, to get that one headline that I did, you do have to understand, it's in an array and I only want the title and so on. But there's plenty of content online about that, and I'll probably be making some videos in the future about how to better manipulate data in Power Automate. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.